Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review They Shall Not Grow Old. And this was a documentary created by Peter Jackson, and this was done for the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. And in 1918, that war ended. 2018, they wanted to release this documentary and do something special. And there's a little commentary from Peter Jackson beforehand, and basically he was told, use all this footage, like real footage, real audio of these soldiers, but do something special with it. And so what he figured out to do was bring it back to life in color. And this is something extremely fantastic and beautifully done, and incredibly done for that matter, and it's really impressive how they're able to bring this documentary to life. Now, that isn't enough to create a great documentary if, like, this looks beautiful. How do you engage the audience? And this documentary takes an interesting look at World War I, as it doesn't talk about the war. This isn't about who won this battle or who was on whose side. This was just about the life of a soldier during World War I in the trenches, fighting these battles, their life before, during, and what happened after they came home. And something they do very interestingly is how they use the color, because you probably wouldn't get this from the trailer, but not this whole thing is in color. I'm not going to give away, per se, when it utilizes color, but I thought they did it in a very clever way. And I think one of the most impressive pieces of this film is the fact that Peter Jackson only uses audio of soldiers talking about their experiences. And what they start off with is very interesting, how the perspective that a lot of these soldiers had going into the war, their excitement, how they wanted to be out on the hunt. And this is a very British film. It only deals with British soldiers and from their perspective, and how they saw going into this war pride and fighting for their country, and then devastatingly what happens when they get back, and hearing how they've experienced things. And this film doesn't pull any punches. If you can't handle very gory, disgusting, and disturbing imagery, this will probably be too much for you, because this film doesn't pull punches. It really shows all the different aspects, whether it was the gas usage or just regular injuries from explosions and gunshots, and what they're able to show in terms of, like, really shakes you. And there's parts where it does shake you in your seat, as it shows these cannons exploding giant mounds of dirt, and the tanks, and really getting inside the heads of these soldiers and what they're dealing with. My one drawback of this documentary is the fact that there's points where it gets repetitive, talking about a lot of the same kind of stuff towards the middle, and kind of slows down the film a bit. But in general, this is a fascinating film, brings a very unheard story to the forefront, and something very special in this documentary. Peter Jackson does an amazing job. He is a very talented director. I know he really hasn't hit the same heights as when he created Lord of the Rings, but what he's able to do with this documentary is special. And that's a perfect word to describe this film as special. And I think it's a special engagement experience, something that you should go out and experience. And I know this film started as like a limited release, couple of days, but it's expanded. I was able to see it as a regular showing last week, and I unfortunately didn't stick around for the documentary about making this documentary that they aired after the documentary ended. Documentaryception. But the idea, so if you've seen that part and you stuck around, let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed out, or did it really add something to the film. But I think this is something really worth seeing. I think it's fascinating. It's an important documentary, and it was an important story to tell, because it really shows a different side to this conflict. And Peter Jackson did a great job, and you should go out and see They Shall Not Grow Old. And comment, let me know what you think. And thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.